Hi everybody, it's Mr. Right here again, and it's great to have you back. As I said, today's video is going to be the second part, the next part of Arthur and the Golden Robe. But just before we get started, let's have a look at some of the amazing vocabulary words that were spotted the last time we read together. Here's 4 words that we spotted when we read the last time. We had conquer, rarity, humble, and ancestors. I've drawn some objects beside the words to help us remember them. So we've got a sword for conquer because it means to overcome a problem or defeat. So something means conquered in this story. We've got rarity, so I've drawn like a gem, stone, ring, meaning not many of them or worth a lot of money. Humble, now this was about the book, wasn't it? Saying humble kind of means less important, and in this case in our book it kind of meant ordinary, like very ordinary looking books. But of course we found out they weren't. And we've got the word ancestors. Of course that's the people who've lived before you in your family, or grandmas and granddads. So we've got family from long ago. Let's have a look out if they appear again, and also let's keep our eyes open for any more great vocabulary in this story. Right, it's time to continue this story. There's Arthur again, remember, pretty ordinary looking. Let's see what we've found out so far. So we looked at the maps, that's right, in Arthur's town here on the Atlantic Ocean coast. Yes, Professor Brownstone told us all about his vault and his ancestors, and about the ordinary looking or the humble looking books, but actually they're filled with adventures from his ancestors. Hopefully you had a go at writing about some adventures too. And now we're going to continue this journey. Look, Professor's talking to us again. He's looking at us and he's telling us something. He's holding a book. I wonder if this is Arthur's story. Let's find out. But before all that, there was the first adventure a Brownstone ever had. This is the tale of Arthur, the unlikeliest of heroes. Yeah, that is Arthur's story, look. And Professor is in his library and he's going to read us this story, isn't he? That's what it seems to me. I really love this word unlikeliest. Look at this, it's being grown or built using prefix and suffix. We've got the prefix un, meaning not here, and est, meaning the most of. So he's the most unlikely hero ever. Now, I think that's because he looks pretty normal, pretty ordinary, and, well, he's just a little boy, isn't he? Let's see. Finally, we've got to see where he lives. It's Arthur's town. Look, it's the flame from the map. It's absolutely enormous. It looks as though it lights the village and warms the town at night. It's obviously keeping it safe from the frozen night. I think it looks like a very safe place to live. We've got a lighthouse, some fishing boats down here. Oh, and look up on the mountains. Somebody lives here. Smoke coming out the chimney. And a mythical bird. That looks like a phoenix. They're the birds that burst into flames when they die and are reborn. And up here. Now this is a very strange place to live, isn't it? High peak of the mountain above the town. I wonder if somebody evil lives there alone, watching closely from above. Let's find out. Born long ago in a small Icelandic town, it was clear from an early age that Arthur was always going to be a bit different. As soon as he was old enough to explore the forest, he showed a great interest in the strange creatures that lived there. Look, it's the elf. He's very friendly. At night, while the townsfolk would gather around the safety of the great fire, Arthur would sit and listen to Atrix, the town's wise woman. There, that must be Atrix there. Oh, she's got a black cat. There's Arthur. It looks like he's listening carefully to her. And over here, townsfolk are having a great time, even though it's night time. Look, it's reading. We've got somebody reading, drinking tea. Somebody's having their dinner. People are having a really nice chill time. Some children practicing. So she would tell him wondrous and frightening tales about distant lands and ancient magic. Right, so this woman's obviously telling them lots of legends and myths from around this area. Arthur soon began to journey into the forest in search of adventures. So she's encouraged him. Look, there she is watching him. She's encouraged him to go on adventures. He even started to carry with him some of the more unusual items he had found. I think this must be his family. And his dad does not look very impressed with Arthur, does he? I think maybe he doesn't like that he does all these strange adventures and collects strange things. We've got the elves. Oh, look, the elves are his friends, aren't they? They're following him, playing music and dancing. He must have helped them. Look at the strange things that Arthur's collected. A hand. He's got a book, skull, strange hat with a feather. He looks very happy though to be going on his adventure. Let's see what happens next. Oh, there's that bird. For returning her egg, the mighty bird, Winged Weaver, gave him a special feather that would grant him help at a time of need. Right, so he's got magical items, they're not ordinary things. By putting an end to the great, or rather tiny war between goblins and fairies, he was given an enchanted staff. So enchanted means magical. So he's been given like a staff, which is like a walking stick. So he's got a magical stick. So he's got like a feather. He's got an enchanted staff. Oh, look, he's helped them to be friends. Well, that's good. Let's see what's happening here. Let's zoom in. High in an ancient tower, he discovered the Hand of Time, which held the power to freeze anyone who touched it. Look at this, do you know what I mean? So he's climbed. Maybe this was the tower at the top of the mountain that we saw before. That would explain it being dark, alone, nobody here. And there's the Hand of Time. Looks like somebody's already tried to get it. Maybe they were frozen and they died. Yeah, it's very dangerous. Let's see what else. And Atrix gave him this very journal I am reading from. Now, that's Professor Brownstone speaking to us, isn't it? So he's telling us the book he's reading is actually the journal that Arthur was given by Atrix. He must have wrote his story in it. So, after the most dangerous challenge of all, rescuing her cat from a tree. See how they... Let's see if we can spot some of those items then that he had on him. Ah, definitely look. Yeah, there's the Hand of Time. The feather that'll help him when he needs. There's the skull. Oh, his journal's there. And I think that must be the enchanted staff. So he's got all his magical items. This makes me think of a really fun challenge that we could both have a go at home. So I've got a bit of a challenge for you. So we're going to imagine that we are Arthur and we're going on that amazing, exciting journey through the forest. And what we're going to do is we're going to pack our bag for that journey, just like how Arthur's got all of his essential items together so that he's prepared and ready for his journey. So I've had a go at this. There's a few ways you could do the challenge. You could pack your bag, you can actually go around where you live and look for these items. You could write about it or you could draw it. And I'm going to show you some of my ideas. So some of my ideas are things that are sensible, things that I've thought carefully about, and I think I really need those to help myself. Some of them are a bit more creative, where I've tried to think of magical properties that some of them can have, just like some of the things Arthur has. So let's see what we've got. So the first couple here, I thought, let's think of some sensible things that really will help. So I've got my walking shoes. Now these are going to keep your feet feeling really good, stopping those blisters, meaning that we can trek through forests, over dangerous paths, over rocky mountains. We'll be able to journey anywhere and everywhere in these, so they're going to be really helpful. Also, I thought I'm going to need my Kindle. I can't do without reading stories, and most of the stories I read at home are on this Kindle. So this is something sensible, something to relax when you've been trekking for hours and hours and slogging and stomping, so I can sit down and relax for a bit. So it's a couple of sensible things. Maybe you can have a think of some things like that you could use. Also thought maybe some magical things could have just regular dental floss. Maybe this stuff could be enchanted or bewitched, and maybe it is unbreakable, so it can help you climb up mountains, tie enemies together, or tie something to a tree. I don't know, something creative like that. I've also thought about maybe a musical instrument, a bit like in Jack and the Beanstalk, where the harp sends the giant to sleep. Maybe when this is played, it sends out an enchanting tune that is impossible to follow and eventually end up in a deep slumber. So if there's any enemies or anybody you want to escape from, this might be very useful. So that'd be a good one. And I decided to have a look around the kitchen, because of course everybody needs food, don't they? So I found some of my favourite mints, nice fresh after you've had something to eat, and one of my favourite things, chili oil or chili sauce. And I thought these are almost opposites of each other, aren't they? This is sort of very fiery and hot, and this is very chilling and fresh. So I thought maybe the magical power, if you have a little sip of this, if you're brave enough, it could make you impervious to fire for 12 hours. Impervious meaning you can't be damaged by it. Now that might be very handy if you're facing off danger, volcanoes, maybe some creature with the power to create fire. So that's going to be useful. And the opposite would be maybe if you have a breath mint, 1 hour, your breath can freeze anything. Maybe a person or a machine. And again, that may be very helpful if we need to escape from enemies. Maybe you could think of some clothing items. I always usually wear a tie, don't I? So maybe the tie is magical, and when you tie it around your neck, it makes you wear something very smart, just in case you end up at a king or queen's palace, maybe. So have a little go around where you live. Do show your adults or your family members at home and tell them all about it. Or again, like I said, this could be written down or drawn. It's up to you. Just have a little bit of fun with it, and I'll see you again in the next video.